So hi guys, my name is Wanjiku here and welcome to another webisode of China Chats with Wanjiku. Ask me about China. So today we'll be addressing the question about cost of living here. The cost of living here is a bit higher as compared to Kenya. China is a developed country, so of course, yes, it's more expensive to live here. But when you think about the salaries for an average person as compared to Kenya, I would say Kenya is slightly more expensive. And when you're working here, a lot of companies do offer subsidies as well. You have your companies that offer food, they offer breakfast, they offer lunch, they offer transportation. So when you think about such subsidizations and when you think about the subsidies for the government as well, when it comes to health, transportation, education, then it is a bit more easier on the citizen living here, okay? So a lot of the times when I've worked in China, I've always had actually all my expenses paid for. I have had my accommodation paid for, I've had my transportation to and from work paid for, I've had my food catered for. So a lot of the times I would find that my salary, if I don't actually want to touch it, I won't touch it, because those are the expenses that, you know, feed up all of your salary. But yeah, right now for the company that I'm working for, what they do subsidize for me is only the transportation to work. So they do pay for my transport, but for my accommodation and for my food, I have to pay for that. So when it comes to food, I would say it's actually also very affordable. I buy my food in the supermarket, and yeah, kuna wale wasehuza hapo kwa streets, but the thing is, with the vendors on the streets, since you're a foreigner, they will always lie to you. It's the same thing. Hata mzungu aenda kununua kitu kwa kibanda home, wao humgonga tu. So as a foreigner here, it's the same thing. So I really stopped. I don't like buying anything outside, like where I can actually not see the price, because the moment I ask a person, how much is this, they always lie to me, because you cannot tell me a vendor on the roadside is selling tomatoes for 2 yuan, one tomato for 2 yuan, and when I go to the supermarket, I can buy 3 tomatoes for 2 yuan. So naonanga tu hapa nagongwa. So I stopped buying a lot of things on the roadside. So I do all my groceries in the supermarket because I can see the prices and everything. I am nikishapimiwa, I can see the price, so I know I'm not being lied to. And there's no way the supermarket is more expensive than the roadside. That actually doesn't make sense. So yeah. But yeah, the food is okay. If I'm doing grocery shopping and I'm buying like tomatoes, potatoes, meat, all those things, maybe I usually do my groceries per week, like for the food that I'm going to cook throughout the week. And I usually spend around maybe at most maybe 90 yuan. So beef is really expensive here. So if I'm spending money to buy beef, I think that's when my budget goes overboard. But if I'm going for something like pork, something like chicken, then the price is way lower. But when I was also working as a dancer, they used to provide us with food. They used to provide us with food in the canteen for breakfast, I believe, and for dinner. So in China, actually, they only do 2 meals. So that's like a brunch and dinner, okay? So both meals are very heavy. There's rice, there's vegetables, there's meat. So if you are actually just eating those 2 meals, it makes sense to eat those 2 meals. So normally they used to give us the lunch at around 11:30. So that's like a brunch. And then dinner is at 5 in the evening, okay? So those 2 meals, of course, these make sense. If you're spending money on food, maybe you're just snacking here and there. So if you are lucky to get a company that caters for food, utakuwa sawa. Shida ni, can you eat that food? Because my biggest problem for me was that I couldn't really handle that food. It was not it was not palatable for me. So that was what made it hard. Alafu, when they are giving you food, they'll give you a room that's just for sleeping. So it doesn't even have a kitchen. So you can't cook for yourself. But otherwise, if you're okay with their food, then you'll be able to save a lot of money since you won't be spending any money on food. When you think about public transportation, when you think about buses, the metro, those are really, really like convenient. You can access them at any time. Like for example, if I'm going for a trip with the metro and the trip is like 1 hour, I would pay around 6 yuan for a trip of 1 hour. When I've been in Hangzhou, I haven't taken buses a lot. I actually don't think I've taken any bus when I've been in Hangzhou. But in Baize, we used to go to the city with a bus, and the city ride the ride with the bus was around maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes. We used to pay around 5 yuan for that bus ride. Here is a public bus, and you can see it empty. Oh my God. I ought to ride a bus one of these days. I haven't ridden a bus I don't even know, since I came back in 2023. So there are these public scooters as well. There are also public bicycles. So it's really, really easy to move around, okay? So that's why I barely use the bus, because these scooters are usually, you can see it's on the roadside and you can park them anywhere. There's always parking space for the bicycles. So you just need to scan it and use it. Once you're done, scan it again and it will deduct now the amount of money you need to pay. Okay, so that's how it works. And I think these ones are company owned. I'm not sure if they're government owned. I don't know for sure. But they are also very, very affordable. I use these ones every day. My ride is usually around 5 minutes from the office to my home. And I pay around 2 yuan for every ride, okay? They make it very, very easy to move around if I'm going shopping, if I'm going to work, if I'm going to hang out, I just need to scan it and move. So this is the code that I'm supposed to scan. You just need to scan it. Where is it? Scan. And let me translate it so that you can see what it reads. It says to confirm that I'm unlocking the bike. So just unlock it. So I'm supposed to use the helmet. And they also clean roads here. How funny is that? So the road is being cleaned right now. But anyway, where was I? I was talking about the unlocking. So I just need to unlock it, wear the helmets, okay, and remove the helmet, and now it starts timing down. So I think I'm charged according to the amount of time I use it, okay? So once I go where I'm supposed to go, I'm just supposed to park the way all these are packed to now the other place I'm going to and lock it, okay? So after I lock it, it will now charge my account, okay? So that's simply how it works. Super easy, super convenient, easy to move around. And if you don't have a bike, you can simply just scan and move along, okay? It's so funny to me that they clean their roads because, kelele. I always find it so funny because how do they even have budgets to clean roads? Na sisi budget inatolewa ya education. Oh my God. We just need people that know what they're doing. So when it comes to rent, a lot of the times that I've actually worked in China, I have had my living expenses paid. Okay, so I think this is actually the second job I'm working that I have had to pay my rent, but mostly a lot of the companies I work for usually pay for the rent. But yeah, so for this house, or I guess this cute little apartment, it's me who pays for it. It's a studio apartment. There isn't much going on. Yeah, so it just has a cute little kitchen over there. That's my bed area. That's my closet. This is my working space and where I sit around. With the houses here, they do come, a lot of them, they come fully furnished, okay? So that is one of the biggest like perks for me, because when you're moving, you're not worried about bringing a lot of stuff. You just need to bring like your clothes, your utensils, your beddings, like that's it. You don't have to carry kuvurutana na kitanda, sijui fridge, sijui washing machine. So all these things, the desk, all the furniture, all the appliances are included in the apartment. And considering all that, I would say the rent is actually okay. So my rent here is around 2,000 yuan. I like this cute little apartment. It's very nice for me. Yeah, because here I don't have a lot of stuff and I don't want to use up all my money in rent. But I am looking forward to probably moving to a bigger space, at least with a living room. Like I want a living space. So yeah. When it comes to the utility bills now, I would say that the utility bills are also not very expensive. Kwa haka karum, I think they charge me water for every 2 months, okay? For every 2 months, because the water charges per month are too little, okay? It's hiyo pesa ni kidogo sana. So I think per 2 months I pay water bills. Like the most I think I've paid for water is around 30 yuan. Is around 30 yuan for 2 months. 30 yuan ni kama 600, okay? So that's all the water. And you know, I'm cleaning, I'm showering, I'm washing my hair, I'm doing the utensils. So yeah, it's a lot of usage. With the electricity bills, I would say even the electricity is pretty fair. Yeah, because I use electricity for everything. I cook. My cooker is electric. I also turn on my AC when it's cold, when it's hot. I use the AC a lot. My hot showers, of course, lighting and everything. So I use approximately maybe around 200 yuan per month. But yeah, uku, during summertime and wintertime is when I really use the AC, and that's when actually I use the most electricity bills. But when the weather is not too extreme, I can use around 100 yuan a month. I think it's the AC that actually takes up a lot of the electricity bill. Wi-Fi for this apartment, they actually don't charge me Wi-Fi. I think it's included in the rent. So I'm not charged for Wi-Fi, but there was an apartment I used to live in Yiwu. That one they charged for, the extra charges were for Wi-Fi. I think we used to pay around 50 yuan per month for Wi-Fi and garbage collection. That one they used to charge us around, I don't remember, maybe 10 yuan per month. I don't really remember. I don't pay for Wi-Fi and I don't pay for garbage here. So yeah, here I only pay the rent, the electricity bill, and the water, and all bills are very, they are manageable, if I can say, considering, of course, the house is fully furnished. So when it comes to health, for a few times that I've gotten sick, I would say it also made sense, the amount of money I was charged. There was a time I had food poisoning. Had some ice cream and let me tell you, it gave me trauma. So yeah, I had food poisoning once because of I ate some expired ice cream. I'm trying to remember how much that cost for that IV drop. I think it was maybe around 200 yuan, I don't know, to be treated for it. So I honestly can't remember, but I don't remember it being strenuous on my pocket. Right now, I have an insurance cover. My company provides insurance for me, but luckily I haven't gotten sick yet enough to be hospitalized. Thank God for good health. But yeah, I would say the hospital bills make sense. For our visas, we have to do our physical test when we are renewing our visas. So I actually had one done this past week, and I paid around 400 yuan for it. And for the physical test, it tests everything from your eyesight, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your blood, your urine. All sorts of diseases are tested for, and it cost me around 400 yuan. So I don't know. I think how much is that? I don't think I've gotten the last physical exam I got back home. I think I paid for around 5,000 yuan, 5,000 shillings for it, but that was a while back. I think it was in around 2017, 2018. So I don't know, how much does a physical examination cost in Kenya? That's more or less like how much I have paid in health expenses. So I'm only speaking from my experience. I don't know about anybody else, but in case you've experienced any healthcare here, just tell me in the comments, how was it? In case you've had surgeries or something like that. So that is the end of this vlog. I am not sure if I went as deep as I would have wanted to, but for me, definitely living here is manageable. It is manageable. I don't feel strained in any way. I would say for me, I think the biggest part for me is the transportation. Moving around in China is so easy. When you understand what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go, how to navigate, oh my goodness. I wish it was that easy to move around in Kenya, because I think that is what makes everything like so exhausting sometimes. The bicycles, the scooters, they make everything so easy, which I love. But yeah, that's the end of today's vlog. Thank you so much for watching. And remember to subscribe. In case you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section. Bye bye.